What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist, and today I would like to continue my little Chopin Etude series with one of the most famous and maybe also most difficult etudes, Op.10 No.4, also known as the Torrent Etude. As you might know, I'm not the biggest fan of all these extra names that people give these etudes. If it helps you to create a nice interpretation and to get the right energy into it, okay, maybe, but all in all, I'm not a fan of pushing a specific image on pieces that are not created by the composer themselves, because I think if it was written Op.10 No.4, then it's more open to different interpretations than if you say it's the Torrent Etude. But that's just my humble opinion. Today I would like to talk a little bit about some things that make this etude very special and different to other etudes. I will try to talk about the main difficulties of this etude, but I won't go into the details of the technique. I think this would need at least one other video. And also I would like to talk in another video about different practicing methods of this etude. As you might know, I'm studying all Chopin etudes right now for my final exam. It is actually opened to the public, so if you want to come, 14th October 2022 in the big concert hall of our university in Stuttgart. Maybe there's going to be a ticket for it. However, it's not going to be like more than €3, I think, but this is up to my university. I don't know anything about this yet. Anyway, I'll keep you updated about it. Check out my Instagram if you want to stay tuned, and let's get started with the video. One of the main difficulties in this etude is that it is combining lots of different techniques. Normally Chopin is concentrating on one specific technique, maybe two combined together, but in this case there are at least 5 different techniques that are already presented in the very first measures. So let's take a quick look at these techniques. The first technique, we have to start with a big hand, like on an octave, and this little run, which is already not so easy. Then immediately we have to create a small hand to play with all these little notes. It's like a circular motion upwards. In the next measure we are changing the technique again. It's like little trills, so we still have a small hand, but we are opening it up again to like get the C sharp. And then the technique is changing again into little arpeggios here. This is more created through our wrist and our elbow and not so much through our fingers like before. And then again, another technique is coming. This is like a rotation, so it's created through our underarm. I don't know how to say it. Like it's more this rotation, and again, not so much our fingers. Something else that's very special about this etude is that your left hand has to be at least as fit as your right hand. Normally in Chopin's etudes, the left hand is not playing so many fast notes as the right hand. There are some other etudes, but all in all, the right hand is normally more in focus for all the brilliant and fast runs. In this case, I'm saying your left hand has to be at least as fit as your right hand, because your left hand has to basically imitate everything that your right hand is doing. They are having the same techniques, they're playing more or less the same things and switching from one hand to the other. The difficulty about the left hand is that you're playing on a different region on your piano. The sound that is created in that region is much more muddy. So it's actually very hard to create a clean and crisp sound, and you need a lot of finger activity, less pedal, so the sound is not going to glue together. Like all these little notes have to be hearable and visible for the audience. If you don't lift our fingers enough, it's going to glue everything together. And we need to lift our fingers much more and get more finger activity. So I would actually say the left hand needs to be at least as fit as your right hand, if not more. Let's talk about the tempo in this piece. Presto con fuoco is nothing that he repeats again in any of these other etudes. We have one time another presto, we have maybe allegro con fuoco, but presto con fuoco is really special for this etude. What does this mean? It's super fast and with a lot of passion and fire and energy. The con fuoco is more describing the character, where presto is of course more the tempo guideline. Now, of course, this extreme tempo makes it also extremely difficult to play. However, if you get it to that point, then you start to understand that all these different techniques that we were talking about before are melting together to one basic technique that is trained here. And I guess this is what Chopin wanted to teach, to stay flexible in your hand, like opening and closing your hands very fast and staying flexible in the size of your hand. Sometimes we have like octaves or big arpeggios to play, and sometimes we have all these small movements and circular motions. And I think this is basically the main technique that Chopin wants to teach us here, which leads us back to Chopin is concentrating on one specific technique in every single etude, also in this. All in all, I would say this etude is definitely nothing for beginners. I think you could damage yourself a lot by playing this without having a proper basic education about playing piano, about relaxing, about different types of technique. However, I would say everyone who is a little bit more advanced, I think this is definitely a great etude that can lift your whole technique on a complete different level. On my ranking from all these etudes, I would definitely put it on one of the highest levels. In my opinion, it's maybe not the most difficult one compared to maybe Op.10 number 2 or Op.25 number 6, but it comes very close to them. So I would still put it on 10 out of 10, technical but also musical. Extremely challenging. To everyone who is playing it right now, have fun, enjoy it, give all your power and energy into it, but don't overdo it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if you want to support me and this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll find the link in the description box. See you in the next videos. Bye.